So guys, today we're going to be talking about the Caitlin Clark situation with Caitlin Clark and the Nike ad. Yes, I am back in my house, temporary office for the time being, just checking on the house, and we'll be back in my parents' tomorrow. And then hopefully by like March or April, I'll have my proper setup at this place sorted. But anyway, we have got it right here. If you are looking for virality, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think we're looking at Caitlin Clark's ad being one of the more viral things we've seen in a long time. Like if you look at the Instagram post on Nike, as far as I'm aware, the Instagram post has like 30 million views, which is again absolutely bonkers. Which is bonkers. It is bonkers to see that many posts, that many things from obviously Nike, that many views with the Nike Caitlin Clark thing. So right now, if you're looking at the amount of views, I'm looking at Nike right here on my phone on Instagram. Caitlin Clark ad has 30.3 million views. Like the only comparable view, anything view wise, in the last, I'm just trying to think what has had more. So, since Caitlin Clark's very first reveal, 22.4 million views. Between the Caitlin Clark logo reveal and this Caitlin Clark video, the only Instagram videos from Nike that have more views is a video about the Dodgers and Ohtani winning. And then they're like championship thing. That is it. Obviously, almost 30 million views for Caitlin Clark Nike Instagram. Most view posts on Nike's page since the Olympics. No, it's not. It is in fact not the most viewed. There is a more viewed post. There is a when the Brazilian women's football team won. There's 100 million, I think, and there is 40 million on the Dodgers. More viewed than UConn winning. More viewed than McElroy. And the fact is that this is only in 2 days. It is the 27th. The reality is that you could be looking at upwards of 40, 50 million views on this post. And yeah, like the winning isn't for everyone post only has 15 million views, which is kind of crazy. But look, if we're talking about Caitlin Clark's relevancy in culture, there'll never be a time where she's more like culturally relevant than 2024. If we're being completely real, that's what it is. Like it is what it is. There will not be a time where she'll be more quote unquote culturally relevant than 2024. But there is a big but here, and it is a fact that Caitlin Clark is still one of the biggest sports stars in the world. And if we're talking women's sports, still no ifs, ands, or buts about it, the biggest star. Like she is global superstar to the level that I don't think we thought like anyone would think was possible in women's sports outside of tennis. Because for me, I think there absolutely is an argument that like there have been tennis players more popular than Caitlin. And there probably have been players in other sports more popular than Caitlin on the women's side. But as far as basketball is concerned, that's just not happening. It's just not happening. And we're now at the stage that you're looking at just in all of overall sports relevance. And look, and that is the one thing. And I like to see it because that is the one thing that the women's sports people tend to have over their male counterparts, which ironically Caitlin Clark doesn't fall into this category. It's that a lot of these players, maybe not necessarily Caitlin, but for Angel, Paige, these players are very much, they are social media savvy. It's why when Jared McCain was coming up, when he was hooping as a rookie, everyone was talking about, oh shit, he's this TikToker, he's, the kids all love him, all this stuff, kids love LaMelo Ball. Like, LaMelo Ball literally was the cause of the fucking 6'7" meme. He was the cause of the 6'7" meme. But yeah, it's all around one of those things where when you are looking at Caitlin Clark, when you're looking at women's sports, like on social media is where a lot of it is. And it's just, can you translate the social media stuff to viewers in person. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, the answer is yeah. Yeah, you can. You can absolutely, like, Caitlin Clark has shown the ability to translate viewership on social media into viewership in like games. Whereas for the rest of women's basketball, that's not really happened. It hasn't, and that is one of the problems, is that there hasn't, other than Caitlin, there hasn't been that translation between social media clicks. Because to say that on social media there's not hundreds of thousands of Paige Bueckers stands of these other players, the problem is that the stands of these other players most of the time aren't actually watching the games. Whereas when it comes to Caitlin Clark, is because it is solely basketball, they are watching the games. And it's funny that the player that they try to say, oh, their hype came from something outside of basketball, has the most fans that will go and watch every basketball game. Like, you better believe, like, Caitlin Clark, Team USA, when they played in the Olympics, were playing in half-empty arenas last Olympics. There are going to be thousands of people, me being one of them. Like, I've always said this, like, I don't really want to go. I'll go to watch Caitlin in Toronto this year. I'll go to Toronto in the summer. Don't really want to go to America. The only thing that could convince me to go to America is the fucking World Cup if Ireland make it. That's probably the only thing that convinced me to go to America. But I'll be there in Toronto, and you better believe if she makes the World Cup squad, I will be at every USA World Cup game after September the 7th, because one of my best friend's weddings is right before that. But after that, I will be at every single one of them. I'll be at every one of them, possibly courtside, depending on the price. But yeah, it is a crazy thing. And look, 30 million views. 30 million on Instagram. 50 million everywhere on social media. Like, that is as viral a trailer for a launch of something as we have ever seen. Like, I can't remember anything launched this viral. And let's be real, Nike aren't fucking about with this. Like, Nike kind of, everyone has said it, where it's like Nike really needs Caitlin Clark right now. Like, Nike really needs Caitlin Clark. And you better believe they're going to push her to the fucking moon, especially because they gave Paige Bueckers the trash can logo. It seems like the Paige Bueckers trash can logo is going to be a thing. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with this? Do you guys disagree with this? And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.